Hi, this is Chuck. Welcome to our video question of the week. This week's question is from Jim in Pennsylvania, and he asks, do you see margins beginning to improve? Well, Jim, not yet. We haven't seen anything about the margins improving, but we have started to see things happening in a positive direction. And the one thing that is a real good indicator of that is that backlogs are finally starting to build back up again. It's the first time in about 4 years that we have seen that. So heading into 2013, I think you'll see less razor-thin margins on the bid market anyway. People are having more work to do, so that's going to help companies that don't have the backlog, but ones that do have high backlog, they'll be less likely to go in with rock bottom prices on jobs. So that's a good thing overall. The bid market that we saw at the end of last year is all over the map. For example, we were talking to one large consulting firm that had on a $2.5 million project a variation of $1 million from the low bidder to the second low bidder. And so we can't really get a good handle on the margin if there's that type of discrepancy. That's obviously something that is a glaring mistake, or it's something where there's what some people believe are, backdoor deals happening from the manufacturer to the integrator in order to get that project put in from that one particular brand. I don't think so. I'm not so sure that that's really what it is. What I think more than that on a job that has that huge of a variation is that the low bidder was actually using a totally different business model, and one that would essentially have an RMR, recurring monthly revenue motive at the back end of this thing. So they're putting the system in at or below cost in order to have a managed services contract sometime down the road. So there's a lot of weird things going on with that kind of stuff. And the bottom line of it is that if you can at all avoid the open bid market, I would avoid it still. Yeah, even going into 2013, I would be very, very selective as the type of work that you chase. One of the things to focus on is jobs that you're shortlisted on or that have a contractor pre-qualification process. And in those jobs, you can usually compete well with other companies that have the same type of credentials and same type of professionalism that you do. It makes a big difference to have that pre-qualification process. The other thing to do is to try to, incent your people to work on a negotiated sales project. Put more emphasis towards that. Maybe, higher commissions if they gross profits are better on those types of jobs, which they generally are. And then, continue to try to work into that niche, the technology and the vertical market, where that type of work better than anyone else in your area. Another thing I suggest is to, set your minimum marks and stick with them, regardless if you're going to, come down to getting that last look. If it's below your minimum mark, you're just going to have to say no. You don't want to get yourself caught up having so much work that has no margin to it, no profitability in it. And then when things do pick up, you do have the good opportunity projects, not being able to work on those because you're tied up on the low profit projects. So, and again, when bidding consultant-led projects, don't redesign the things. Just bid to specification. Don't try to, run them back through your engineering and spend a lot of time putting, a different look on that project. You got to bid according to spec, and when you do that, you don't add in a whole bunch of additional cost to that project. So great question about the margins. Hopefully they will improve, and I hope that because people are busy, your margins will go up, as they should. So thanks for the question.